Live, local, late breaking. This is Newswatch 12 this morning.
Good morning. The time is 6:30 on July 23rd. Welcome to Newswatch 12 this morning. I'm Carlos Marietta. We're taking a live look out of Phoenix by the Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries. We first want to turn over to Storm Tracker 12 meteorologist Sarah Kress for a look at our Wednesday. And Sarah, can we expect similar conditions to yesterday?
There's a few things yesterday that I would say are similar to today. This morning we're waking up. It is a bit cooler for us. We're at 46 into Mount Shasta, Wairika 58. 40s into Klamath Falls, 60s as we're into the Rogue Valley this morning. Clear skies areas inland, but we are waking up with areas of fog and clouds along the coast for us. But into the Rogue Valley through this morning, expect bright and sunny skies, mostly sunny as we work into the second half of our day. But it's going to start to feel hot by the time you're into the afternoon and this evening. Temperatures a little bit hotter than yesterday. We'll be into the 90s in the Rogue Valley, 80s over east side, and into the 80s and 90s into Siskiyou County. Now we have the possibility for isolated thunderstorm chances today, east side and into Northern California, pretty similar to yesterday. And then along the coast, it will be staying a bit cooler thanks to those coastal clouds. Now into the Rogue Valley, we are expecting another hotter day. It's going to be a bit breezy into the afternoon, evening for us, and we can expect that across all areas inland. Now in terms of those thunderstorm chances, it is going to be areas over east side into Siskiyou County, and we'll continue to track that as we're working our way through this week. Just a reminder that we do have high fire danger across Curry County, Josephine, Jackson, Klamath, and Lake. And tomorrow we are expecting more numerous thunderstorms and likely to be a little bit more widespread. So we are keeping an eye out for new fire starts that are expected. I'll have more details on what we can expect tomorrow and even into the weekend coming up in your next forecast.
Multiple residents in the Forks of Salmon area are under orders to evacuate due to the Butler Fire, but many are refusing to leave. The Siskiyou County Sheriff's Office says staying behind is not only dangerous, but it also puts first responders in harm's way. Evacuation orders remain in effect for multiple zones along the Salmon River, including Forks of Salmon and Butler Creek. The Sheriff's Office says many people are still refusing to leave despite direct warnings from deputies, door-to-door visits, and alerts through the county's emergency system.
We have seen several fires in the preceding years where people have perished in the fire after we had already gone to the houses and notified them. We knocked on their door, we told them face to face to leave, the fire is coming. And they still refused to leave, and they died. And I don't want that to be the norm in my county.
Sheriff LaRue says some residents believe they can protect their homes themselves. Others have told deputies that they don't trust the government agencies or the Forest Service. He calls that mindset dangerous and says it's already pulling resources away from firefighting efforts. Now the Butler Fire has grown to nearly 18,430 acres with 9% containment. Crews are using strategic firing operations and are working to knock down spot fires, and evacuation orders remain in place for several high-risk zones. And due to the Butler Fire, the Six Rivers and Klamath National Forest have announced a forest order closure on all roads, trails, and lands. The forest order was put into place to promote public safety as fire behavior can be extreme. Violators of this order will be fined up to $5,000 or face up to 6 months in prison. The forest closure is in place until August 5th. And in developing news, Governor Tina Kotek has called for a special meeting to address the transportation system emergency on August 29th. Newswatch 12's Grace Ritz tells us about how this transportation emergency is affecting the Rogue Valley.
After an ongoing battle with the loss of government funding and lawsuits, the Rogue Valley Transportation District has announced their plans for service reductions and possible layoffs. The proposed reductions include the elimination of routes like 1X, 17, and 30, as well as a reduction of operating hours starting September 2nd. These reductions will affect routes all across the Rogue Valley. Julie Brown, the general manager of Rogue Valley Transportation District, spoke to me about who they think are going to be the most affected.
For us, we have a lot of people that have no other choice. Their choice is transit. When you look at that, that is the largest percent, but then you start adding in all the students, you start adding in the workers, you start adding in all these different people of different walks, and there's different reasons for all of this.
On top of the community, those working at the transportation district are at risk of losing jobs. Brown says 64 out of 138 employees are at risk of being laid off due to these funding cuts. Rogue Valley Transportation District will hold a public hearing at 5:30 where members of the community and staff can vocalize their opinions and solutions.
Your voice matters. So when you talk to your legislator, either your state or your federal legislator, and you talk to them about how this impacts me, it makes a difference.
In Medford, I'm Grace Ritz.
In a statement, Kotek said Oregonians rely on these basic services from brush clearing to prevent wildfires to snow plowing in winter weather, and they are counting on their elected representatives to deliver adequate and stable funding. Meanwhile, state Republicans blamed the governor and Democrats for the issue. In a statement, House Republican leader Christine Drazan said this could have been prevented if Democrats had come to the table and considered House Republicans' alternative plan to fund ODOT by refocusing existing revenue instead of adding billions of dollars in new taxes on struggling Oregonians. Governor Kotek's office says the special session is set to begin on Friday, August 29th. New this morning, Governor Tina Kotek has signed two new bills into laws aimed to boost access to microgrids across the state. These laws promise to enhance energy resilience and security throughout the state. The new laws also allow communities to plan, build, and own local microgrids, connecting them to larger grids. According to Governor Kotek, microgrid technology can significantly reduce the risk and duration of power outages, and this legislation marks a shift towards community-driven energy solutions, potentially transforming how Oregon communities manage and benefit from energy resources. Moving into a crime alert, the Josephine Marijuana Enforcement Team is announcing another illegal marijuana grow site for a property in Cave Junction. The team executed a search warrant on Rockydale Road, where more than 3,600 illegal marijuana plants were seized and destroyed. The property also had multiple electrical, water, and solid waste code violations, which could result in forfeiture of the property. The primary suspects were not on scene, but they faced charges of unlawful manufacturing and possession of marijuana. And the man arrested in Saturday's shooting along I-5 was indicted on charges related to the incident. Devonta Mader faces several charges, including attempted murder, attempted assault, and criminal mischief. Mader is scheduled to appear in court again on Monday. And the Eagle Point Police Department says their new drone assisted in locating Mader after he fled on foot. On Saturday, a request for a drone was made after it was reported the suspect was shooting at officers. Eagle Point Police responded with their drone that was recently obtained through city-county insurance. The drone was used to locate Mader after officers lost sight of him, avoiding the risk of ambush. Mader surrendered after spotting the drone, allowing officers to safely arrest him. On to the school watch. Two nuclear medicine students for Oregon Tech traveled to New Orleans to partake in a national leadership conference. These two students received training from technologists and keynote speakers throughout the conference. Both said the experience could be pivotal for their careers in nuclear medicine, and a closer look at this story and the conference they participated in can be found on our website at kdrv.com. And the Pacific Rim Bowl is this Friday, and many events have already begun in anticipation of the game. The PRBP ceremony was held at Lithia Park in Ashland, and many people were in attendance from Ashland and Phoenix School District to the players from the South Valley Wolfpack and the Japan All-Stars. Throughout the ceremony, many speakers emphasized that this was more than just a football game.
It's about building friendship, trust, and understanding between people from different cultures. Many of us reflected on how lucky we are to play sport that connects people from different backgrounds. It gave us a deeper motivation to represent our country with honor. not just on the field, but through our attitude and respect.
Friday night's game will take place at Ashland High School with kickoff set at 7 p.m. Tickets are $10 for adults and $5 for seniors and students with a valid ID.